Welcome to Trading Up Special Edition, where we give you an inside look at job opportunities and the possibility to trade up your lifestyle. Probably one of the toughest decisions we make is what career path to follow, whether fresh out of high school or already in a career that isn't quite what you expected, or perhaps facing a job loss. What are your options? You could just immediately enter the workforce. Many today are hiring with no experience necessary. Maybe a 4-year or more college degree is your path to a chosen profession. Or yet another option might be to take advantage of one of the many skilled trades being offered. What if I told you you could start a career that pays you as you learn? Yes, earn a living wage right now, as you gain experience and knowledge on the job. Well, this episode of Trading Up Special Edition, we're going to Sheet Metal Workers Local 33, an advanced training facility with a rich history in not only building many of our area's landmark structures, but building career paths as well. We'll meet several apprentices and journeymen currently in the training program and working in the field. But first, let's learn a little about the history of Sheet Metal Workers Local 33 and what the training facility can offer you as a candidate.
I'm Eli Backus, and I'm the Director of Partnership Development for Smart Local 33. Part of my responsibilities include finding new members for our local, both apprentices and experienced workers who are looking to make a transition into our union. Smart Local 33 began in Toledo, Ohio. It was then part of the 10 Sheet Iron and Cornice Workers International Association. Smart Local 33 came together in 1988. At that time, we were the Sheet Metal Workers International Association. And in 2014, we became the Sheet Metal Air, Rail, and Transportation Workers, SMART. And now we're Local 33 of that organization. Local 33 serves all of Northern Ohio, almost all of West Virginia, and a couple counties in Michigan and one county in Pennsylvania.
I'm Clint Dockery, Training Coordinator, Local 33, Toledo area JATC. When you look at sheet metal workers, you can go back into history as far as ancient times when they first basically started doing metal and banging tin, suits of armor, things of that nature. So eventually heating and cooling came into play. So right around 1888, there was a big demand for it. So there was actually different cities that came to this area and they started a union out of Toledo, Ohio.
Sheet metal workers are a dynamic group in the construction industry. Our members can perform HVAC installation and repair, which is what we call service work. Our members do metal roofing, metal siding, gutters and downspouts, decorative metal, which is what we call architectural metal. They do testing and balancing of HVAC systems, and that includes not only making sure the airflow is correct, but now, since COVID-19, we are really focusing on making sure that the indoor air quality in schools and government buildings, it is healthy. We perform industrial welding and repair, fabrication. We also do stainless steel welding and fabrication for food grade processing and equipment, and we do kitchen installations. Now there are hundreds of other little tiny aspects of it, but in the construction industry, that's where the main focus of the sheet metal workers is at. A Smart Local 33 apprentice is someone who's typically coming into our trade that doesn't have any experience. They are a high school graduate. They might come in with some experience in the non-union sector in our industry, and they go through a 4-year training program. In that training program, there's a lot of on-the-job training and 4 weeks of school every year. So during that time, they get to have the full experience of what it takes to become a sheet metal worker. And we train them from the beginning of knowing nothing to being a full journeyman and able to run projects on their own if that's what they desire.
We have a welding program to be able to do different types of projects. You need to know metallurgy because we do spend a lot of time in food factories and different manufacturing facilities that use a lot of stainless steel, aluminum, different types of exotic metals, titanium, magnesium, and things of that nature. So you got to know the workability of it. You also have to know the weldability of it, how the tensile strength, and a lot goes into it.
In order to apply to be a Smart Local 33 apprentice, you would go to sheetmetaltraining.org, and that will give you step-by-step instructions on how to do it. You'll fill out an online application, you'll come in for an interview, you'll go in for a mechanical aptitude test, and based on your scores on the mechanical aptitude test and your interview, you'll be placed with a contractor.
What we have to offer is you have the opportunity to basically come in, see if you even like it, because this might not be the career for you. And that's why I always tell everybody, come in, you're young, try it out, see if you like it, then we can progress from there. You're gonna get the pay, you're gonna build up a great amount of money. So you're not gonna bring in any college debt. Our program's basically free in essence.
We're always going to need the skills that sheet metal workers bring in the construction industry. It's not only the low-tech side of things, the actual installation, but there's a high-tech side of things about service and repair work on these equipment pieces that are more and more just like computers. The pay scale for a sheet metal worker is very competitive. Starting at the first year, our apprentices are making $36 an hour. Now, part of that money gets spent on healthcare benefits and retirement, so what the bring home pay is about a little over $18 an hour. By the fourth year, our apprentices are getting paid $61 an hour, and they're bringing home about $29.50 an hour. And for journeymen now, they're making $72 an hour and bringing home about $35. And that's a very competitive pay without any college debt and without any advanced education besides what we're giving you here at the training center.
Back in my time, there was no, you got health care until you were, I think, 24 now. So, you're basically cut off if you didn't go to college right after high school. So that was one of my big points. I wanted to get benefits for myself. So, and that still holds true today. Being a Toledo sheet metal worker, we have basically 2 pensions. We also have an annuity, so that's 3 investment opportunities that are put into yourself. We also have great, I call it great health plans. I listened to my wife and what she has, and I was like, man, we're doing pretty dang good for what we have for healthcare. When you take all that together and you look at the quality of life that this job can give you, you can go a long way. You don't look at that stuff when you're young. You more look at that stuff as you get closer to the finish line. But it's definitely one of those things that I always try to tell the younger people.
There's a big advantage too of not actually being in competition with your fellow workers. You know that if you're willing to do the work for a certain dollar amount, the member next to you is also willing to do the work for that same dollar amount. So you don't have to worry about someone undercutting you and what you're willing to get paid for. Unlike a lot of places that just have a 401k where you're still banking on the market to make sure that you have money, ours are pensions that actually guarantee you money. We, as officials of the union, cannot do anything without the membership approval. So you get to come in and tell us how you want something done. And if you don't like the way we're doing things, you get to vote to say, no, I don't like that.
I take a lot of pride in that. A lot of my apprentices, they're running work or they're high up in a company. You see them do great for themselves, and it just gives you a good sense of feeling about, hey, this is what it's all about and this is why I do it.
Coming up on Trading Up Special Edition, we'll meet apprentice sheet metal workers Nick and Dominique and hear both the challenges and rewards they encountered in training at Smart Local Union 33. But first, let's test your knowledge with Trading Up Trivia. Which famous superhero was a union sheet metal worker in real life? Is it A, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, B, Christopher Reeves as Superman, C, Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, or D, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman? We'll be back with the answer right after this.
Are you looking for a meaningful career with room for growth? Join Smart Local Union 33 and become a sheet metal worker. Learn architectural metal installation, HVAC service and installation, welding, testing and balancing, and other facets of the sheet metal trade. Earn good wages and great benefits from your very first day with no college debt. We offer job placement during your apprenticeship and for the rest of your career. Train for a career that can't be outsourced and work that's in high demand. To apply, go to sheetmetaltraining.org. Join Smart Local Union 33 today.
Welcome back. Before the break we asked, which famous superhero was a union sheet metal worker in real life? If you answered C, Lou Ferrigno, who played the Hulk in the TV show, you are correct. Your path to becoming a sheet metal worker begins with an apprenticeship. As an apprentice sheet metal worker, you'll earn as you learn. Not only are you given hands-on expert instruction, you're also given a paycheck. Nick and Dominique are Smart Local Union 33 apprentices who are finding the rewards of their decision to become sheet metal workers far outweigh the challenges.
My name is Dominic Gregory, and I'm an apprentice for the Local 33 sheet metal workers. I've been with Local 33 for 2 years now. I started off when I was 18. I was working for a company called MTS Seating. I was a welder, and I've always worked with metal, so I know how to work with metal. I like welding, and my brother-in-law actually joined Local 33, and he said it would be good if I joined Local 33, and I joined, and I like it. Doing hands-on work and using the tools every day. So yeah, I take pride in seeing something that I've accomplished, like driving past the job site that I've worked on, and I get to tell my fiance and my kid, like, hey, I worked on that job. I've worked at Rossford Schools, I've worked at Toledo School of the Arts, Cleveland Cliffs. I've worked on a lot of jobs.
I'm Nick Witowitz. I'm a fourth-year apprentice at Local 33. Before this, I was working in factories, the same dead-end factories. You work there for a few years and it's not going to get you anywhere. Sheet metal seemed to be in my blood. My dad is an engineer, worked with sheet metal. My grandfather was a tin knocker, so it's just been in my blood.
I wouldn't say boot camp, but it's always like your first time, you don't know what you're doing. It's kind of like you're just training. Eventually you take the training wheels off and you're all on your own.
It's rewarding at the end of the day. Sometimes it's a little tough, like when you're troubleshooting stuff, and I work with testing and balancing, so every day I don't finish my jobs, but at the end of the day I still know it's a little better than where I came in.
I'm on my own in the shop putting together fittings every day, or sometimes I'll be operating the forklift and moving material around so we can keep the flow of the shop can keep going.
Safety is very important. They put safety number one, and then make sure you're doing everything correctly. If you have questions, please ask. There's nobody that you can't get an answer from. If they don't know, they will gladly pass you along to somebody who does.
Yeah, you always want to be aware of your surroundings and pay attention to what you're doing. Safety's always on your mind when you're working on jobs like that. So if you're on a job site, it's mandatory hard hat, glasses, gloves that are cut resistant, earplugs if it's loud. So from time to time there will be some cuts, but mainly that's why the gloves have to be cut resistant to a certain level.
We do have to work in high places. We go on a lot of roofs, doesn't matter how tall, you just have to go. Very rarely will we be using a boom lift or anything of those sorts, but we do use them. Heights don't bother me. I've never had a problem with them. Make sure you got your harness on, make sure your hard hat's on, safety glasses, all your PPE. As long as you're tied off, you should be good. Journeymen pretty much teach us everything here. They basically have done the show, so I was their apprentice, still am, and they just teach you what you need to know. They step by step, and if I had any questions, you know, I'd ask them and they'd have no problems with helping me out, because the more that I know, the less that they got to do.
Being an apprentice, usually I'm working with the journeyman and he's kind of walking me through the steps, showing me step by step how to do it. It's always good to get well-rounded experience working with different journeymen. Each journeyman has a different way that they do things, and I like to get a little bit of knowledge from everybody.
The environment itself for where I work is usually pretty clean, being that testing and balancing come in after all the construction's pretty much done. So, not to say that I get a bonus, but in the summertime I have to worry about getting the air conditioning working and getting them cooled down. And then in the wintertime I have to worry about getting the heat. It's pretty relaxed conditions of my work. I work inside and outside, working on rooftop units and also air handlers that are inside or furnaces. So sometimes you got to go outside, you just got to bundle up.
On job sites, sometimes not everything goes as planned, so you have to know how to handle adversity and deal with problems the best way that you can. It's important because the union is a brotherhood. We all stick together, and since I've joined the union, I've made a lot of friends who we share the same values. We do the same things every day, so I think it's very important.
It is required to meet 6 meetings as an apprentice.
And then once you become a journeyman, you're not required to attend the meetings, but it's still good to attain the knowledge, know what's going on in the union.
If I was to convince you, I would ask you what you're doing right now is it really worth it down the road to still continue that? And how far can you advance in your employment? Here, it's endless opportunities. You can go as far as a project manager, all the way down to just being a tin knocker and putting stuff together if you'd like. It's all what you want to do. The more you do, the more responsibility you get, the more pay you get. So if you just want to come in and fly under the radar, they'll let you. You want to come in and make your name known, and you'll know that as well.
Are you looking for a meaningful career with room for growth? Join Smart Local Union 33 and become a sheet metal worker. Learn architectural metal installation, HVAC service and installation, welding, testing and balancing, and other facets of the sheet metal trade. Earn good wages and great benefits from your very first day with no college debt. We offer job placement during your apprenticeship and for the rest of your career. Train for a career that can't be outsourced and work that's in high demand. To apply, go to sheetmetaltraining.org. Join Smart Local Union 33 today.
Smart Local Union 33's journeymen play an important role in guiding you throughout your apprenticeship.
I'm Michael Janowicki. I grew up in Toledo. I got into the trades because my uncle owned M&M Heating and Cooling, and he's now retired, but I got into the trades at a young age, right out of high school. Did my apprenticeship at Local 33, and now I'm here and running work.
I am T.R. Middlebrook. I'm a first-year journeyman with Local 33. When I first came in, I was not aware of what all was involved with the apprenticeship and involved with sheet metal. So when I came in and I learned that HVAC installation was a part of that program, I have no background in it, so it was a little challenging at first. I wasn't the fastest or the strongest of the students, but teacher and a lot of my classmates were helpful. So I just continued to persevere and just keep coming every day and learn something new.
The apprenticeship program for me, at first it was a little difficult, you know, because I was green, I didn't know much about anything. I barely could read a tape measure, but it taught me all the skills I needed to succeed in this trade.
I don't have a fear of heights. I used to kind of hang out of windows as a kid, and I got in trouble for that, so now I get paid for it, so that works out for me.
I was very intimidated. You know, you walk in a job site, look up, and you see everything in the air. You don't know where to start, what to do. So if you have a good journeyman with you, he's going to show you, all right, we're going to take it step by step. Okay, we're going to start here. You're going to look at the print. He's going to teach you how to read it. It shows you what scales and where you're going to put it in the air.
From the time that I was an apprentice, having that experience with the journeyman, like just them imparting wisdom, and when they see you get stuck in certain areas, they'll give you little tips and tricks, you know, to help make the job a little easier and to get out of it, and it's something that sticks with you as you continue to work. You have to wear a harness, lanyard, tie-off points, of course proper PPE, but harness is a very big part of that.
There's many dangers of being a sheet metal worker. I have many scars on my body from being in tight situations or not paying attention.
The type of metal that we work with has very, very sharp edges, hence gloves to keep from slicing or cutting your hands. Sometimes getting your clothes a little ripped because you kind of get snagged on certain things.
You know, you always have to be alert. You got to know what you're doing. You got to trust the guy you're next to with your life, and they have to be able to trust you.
Tape measure is definitely important. Snips, tongs, impact drill, different type of nut runners, because you're going to use different size screws, different size nuts and bolts. A hammer, definitely. You can sometimes use a tong as a hammer, but I wouldn't recommend it. There's quite a few, but like some of those are more important and others for depending on what else you're doing.
The benefits, they are fantastic. In our trade, you make fantastic money, great benefits, you know, dental, eye care, all that. And you know, I haven't paid out of pocket for any injuries or anything that I've come across. So it's definitely worth it. And when you retire and you start getting older and you want to, either if you want to get out a little early, you know, it's it's great to know that you're always going to be set when you're done with what you're doing.
At the end of the day, I'm most proud of learning something new that will be helpful to me as being a better journeyman or journey person later on. And that I was able to come in, get the work done, and just see my work and know that when this place goes up, I'll be driving by it one day and say, I was working in there and I helped put that building up.
Anybody can become a sheet metal worker. You could be a woman, a man, tall, small, big, anything. And when you get into the trades, they're going to teach you and, take the steps to properly become a great sheet metal worker.
If you're looking to make a good amount of money to be able to handle your responsibilities and have insurance, I'd say this is a great place to work. And if you're interested in working with your hands, I'd say this is a great way to start and be able to take care of yourself and your family.
Are you looking for a meaningful career with room for growth? Join Smart Local Union 33 and become a sheet metal worker. Learn architectural metal installation, HVAC service and installation, welding, testing and balancing, and other facets of the sheet metal trade. Earn good wages and great benefits from your very first day with no college debt. We offer job placement during your apprenticeship and for the rest of your career. Train for a career that can't be outsourced and work that's in high demand. To apply, go to sheetmetaltraining.org. Join Smart Local Union 33 today.
So what do you think? Is being a sheet metal worker for you? If you're 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED certificate, a valid driver's license, and you're able to pass a drug test, you already have the basic requirements met. Consider the costs, only $400 a year compared to what you would pay, and maybe continue to pay, should you have to take out an extensive college loan. Plus, you get paid substantially, all while building your career. Just look at today's wages and benefits. For more information or how to apply for an apprenticeship, check out sheetmetalworkers.org or call 419-873-9971. A new and rewarding career awaits you.
What I'm most proud of about being a union member is the fact that we are all struggling in the same struggle together as workers to try to make the best opportunity for ourselves. And we are in charge of how that happens.
Sheet metal work is a great career, great pay, great benefits. We talked about the pensions. We have a local pension, a national pension, and annuity. We also have great healthcare benefits, low cost to no cost of anything that you have to pay for. So you're basically going to come out making close to $80,000 a year, which is a substantial amount of money with all the benefits. You're going to be way ahead than some of your other cohorts that you went to school with.
If you're interested in working with your hands, I'd say this is a great way to start and be able to take care of yourself and your family.
Positive aspects are knowing that I can provide for my family. Like coming to work every single day, knowing that each hour I work I get benefits and that I'm not going to have to worry about something down the line happening.